Hello everyone, it's Glenda and welcome back to Creative Grandma's Kitchen. My channel is all about simple foods and simple ingredients, and I try to show people that it doesn't have to be complicated to make delicious food with just simple ingredients. And what do you think of when you go to Grandma's house? You think of comfort foods. Well, today's recipe, I'm going to show you how to make a simple bread stuffed chicken breast. This is just a basic bread stuffing that we're going to put between a chicken breast and bake it until it's golden and delicious. How about a side of mashed potatoes and gravy? So let's take a look at what you need for today's recipe. So for today's meal, I have 4 pretty thick chicken breasts here, and I'm just going to wash them, prep them, and I'm going to saw them right in half long ways and make 8 pieces of chicken out of those 4 chickens. Then you're going to need a small onion. I'm going to say about 2 stalks of celery, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, depending on your preference. Now, I could not find bread cubes at the store, so I bought just 2 packs of hot dog buns because I wanted it to be a little bit thicker texture than a fresh loaf of bread because that kind of mushes together. So I'm just going to cube these hot dog buns up to make my stuffing. You're going to need 1 stick of butter or 1/2 cup of butter. You're going to need some salt and pepper to taste, and then we're going to add some poultry seasoning into our stuffing. So I have my chicken washed and prepped, and I wasn't thinking, and I went ahead and sliced them, and I forgot Cody wasn't filming. So you want to take your chicken breast, and you're just going to saw it lengthwise down through the center. Now make sure when you're dealing with chicken, you really wash your hands well and use separate cutting boards for your vegetables if you're working with chicken. I have my onions prepped and chopped, my celery chopped, and you can chop these to whatever consistency you want. If you want them finer, go ahead and chop them finer. Now with the hot dog rolls, I only used 1.5 packs, and you can see that's a pretty full bowl, and since I'm only making 4 stuffed chicken breast, I think that's plenty. So now, since I have my bread cubes all ready, I'm just going to add my celery. Now just compare, it may be too much, it may not be enough. I don't think I'm going to put all of it in. I'm going to save some of it. I really don't like it to have more celery and onions than bread. So use your own judgment. I'm only going to put half of my onion in here because that was a pretty large onion. And you just want the flavor of the onions and celery. Very basic recipe. So now I'm going to go ahead and take my stick of butter, and I'm going to melt this in the microwave and pour this over my stuffing. Now before I pour my butter into my stuffing, I'm just going to salt. Use as much or as little salt as you want. I'm going to add pepper. Now I like a lot of pepper in my stuffing, so use your own judgment. If you don't like a lot of pepper, then don't use a lot of pepper. And then I'm going to use about a 1/4 teaspoon of poultry seasoning, so you can sprinkle that on your stuffing. Now I might just add a pinch more because I love the taste of poultry seasoning. So you just have to try it, see what you like best. And then I'm going to go ahead and mix this up before I pour my butter on. Just get it mixed up a little bit. And then just try to pour your butter so you're just going back and forth and trying to saturate down through all of it, trying to get all those areas. And then you're going to go ahead and mix it up. Now I use my hand, so I'm going to go ahead and stick my hand in here and get this mixed up really well. I like to squeeze it and get that butter and everything mixed in and kind of like squeeze that bread and condense this a little bit. And then our stuffing is all ready to stuff our chicken. So I have my 4 pieces of Reynolds wrap ready. And then I'm just going to take one piece, I lay it in my hand. I take one chicken breast and lay it right on top of my hand, right in the center of the Reynolds wrap. And then you're going to reach into your bread stuffing. And I really like a lot of stuffing, and you're just going to put that stuffing right on top of that chicken breast. And you can put as much or as little stuffing as you like on your chicken breast. And then I'm just going to take another chicken breast, and you're going to lay it right on top of that one. And then you're just going to fold it up. Bend your sides up. And you're going to do that for the rest of your chicken breast. Now this meal can be prepared in an oven or a crock pot. I love making these and putting them in the crock pot in the morning, and then I can go about my day, and then at night all I have to do is make my sides when these are ready for supper. So all my chicken breasts are filled. I used all my stuffing, but what is nice about this recipe is if you have extra stuffing left, you can throw it in a freezer bag, pop that in your freezer, and next time you want to make stuffed chicken breast or stuffed pork chops, grab that stuffing out of the freezer and it's already made. Once it thaws out, just go ahead and stuff those chicken breasts, and you're saving a lot of time. So now my chicken breasts are in the pan, and I'm just going to add enough water to cover the bottom of my pan just to help so it doesn't stick and burn. And then I'm going to put them in a preheated 350-degree oven until done. Now all ovens vary, so I'm going to say put them in for about an hour and a half, take them out and check them, and they should be at least 165 degrees. Now I overcook my food, so I'm going to cook mine until they start turning light brown. So my chicken breasts should be done. They've been cooking a little over an hour and a half, and I do like my chicken done. So it all depends on how you like your chicken. So just take it out of the oven, and you can pull the foil back. Be careful, it's very hot. And then I'm gonna drain a little bit of that juice out. And then I just take my foil over and I just flip it upside down on the plate. Now these are pretty big servings, so you can always cut this in half and share it. So look at that delicious tender chicken, that bread stuffing, and what goes good with stuffed chicken breast? You gotta have mashed potatoes and gravy. So let's lift up some potatoes. And I have my little quirky habits where I put a hole in those mashed potatoes because I like that little bit of extra gravy. And then I'm just going to take my gravy, add some gravy on my potatoes and across the top of my chicken. And then to finish this meal off, I'm just going to add some breaded squash that I fried. Summer is here, the garden is producing this wonderful vegetables. And that is it for this episode. This is my stuffed chicken breast with just a basic bread stuffing. Mashed potatoes and gravy and breaded squash makes it the perfect meal. So you can add your own sides. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time in the kitchen.